doing it. All right, we're live, guys. I didn't give Steve. I never give. I want to see that embarrassing moment.
There's no embarrassing moment ever because I know that you do this now.
But somebody's at the door.
There's nobody coming to the door tonight. And
thank God.
Welcome everybody to the Guitar Breakdown. I think we're live Friday night podcast featuring David Clayton and myself, Stephen Michaels. We're here for you a little earlier and a little abbreviated, and that's because I have a new hobby. Well, it's not a new hobby. It's a relatively new hobby. I go birding. And so my birding is starting tomorrow. And what happens when I go birding is I leave
birding
my house,
son of a bitch.
I know. I go birding. I leave my house at like 5:30. I drive 2 hours. And then I go try to find these crazy little birds that come from South America. And I take pictures of them. People think it's fake, but that shit is real. That stuff is real. And
you are talented, my friend.
Well, I picked it up. I don't know if my friend Kevin Bolton is in. Our friend Kevin, who's always watching us, is in the chat yet. But I learned it all from Mr. Kevin Bolton. And Kevin was a master at this. So my history with Kevin, as I told you, Kevin played guitar before I did. And I used to like hang out with Kevin. He's like a few years older than me. We had lost touch maybe for like 10 years. And then I reconnected with him and he's doing this like birding thing. And I look at his pictures and I'm like, this is like dumb. You know, like, this is stupid. And next thing I know, I start looking, I go back and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I started calling Kevin like the George Lynch of bird photography. And I go out, like one time I run into him and I was totally like, it just totally bit me, dude. I was like so into it. And it's such a great experience. So long story long, from now until say like the first or second week of June, we'll be starting a little bit earlier, a little bit abbreviated. I think Dave may be kind of finishing the shows out by himself just because I have to sack out even a little bit earlier, but I'm going to try to hang out as long as I can. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So Dave, let's just get into it, dude.
I got a ton of trying to set this thing up. It was super late to all this today. Just it's a busy day. I got another gig I'm doing and blah, blah, blah.
And obviously, you know, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Yeah, all that good stuff. You know, definitely let us know how we're doing with the volumes here. If there's anybody watching, we see we have a few people coming in. Let us know if you're hearing us all good. Let us know who you are. If you're one of our friends, if it's Kevin, say hello. If it's anybody else, say hello. And again, you know, it's Friday night. We're starting kind of in a weird time. So if you're walking in a little bit earlier, it's for the next 6 or 7 weeks, we'll be doing the show a little bit earlier. I started my second hobby, which is bird photography, which starts tomorrow. Dave is getting everything fired up. And we got a great show planned for everybody tonight. I don't know what Dave can or can't say yet, but he told me some of the stuff beforehand. It's really cool. We have some Steve Vai conversations planned for tonight. And I think maybe some other stuff that Dave, like I said, is working on right now. But how's it going over there, dude?
Good. I'm just trying to pull up a few videos that we might look at. Have to read one confirmation email gig. So let me know what have you been doing this week? What have you been working on?
I know we talked earlier, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember. The days just kind of meld into each other. So this whole week has been pretty much a combination of Mr. Big. I've been relearning or learning the whole Wind Me Up solo, which is a great solo from the first Mr. Big record. It's very, very quick. I think it's like maybe like a quick run of 12, like maybe like 10 or 12
all
measures.
His Mr. Big solos were really concise. I mean, it was, but there's so much meat to all of them.
Totally. And I've been kind of going back and forth with a lot of just playing, like going in starting in you know, like if I'm in one key and just kind of going up a half a step, trying to make it like where I go out, follow a pattern, get back in. That's something that you were talking about back, you know, when we first started the podcast. I never really did that. So that's been something that I've been working on off and on all week. And just before we hopped on this, I had a little free time and I was just again working on some chord stuff. So I'm always trying to work on my chord knowledge, and I can't for the life of me retain it. Like I'll go back and I'll be like, why can't I remember this? You know? So
Right, yeah.
I don't get it. You know, like it doesn't matter how many times I do it. I can't retain that information. And so I just keep going back to the source, and you know, I slowly piles on knowledge wise, but I'm dense, dude. I am a dense man.
Dense.
I am not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man. All right.
I'm not a smart man.
Oh shit. And then so I think listen, I don't mean to be so absent from this conversation. I'm just trying to set all the stuff. I was super late.
I'm trying to keep it going. I'm trying to keep
and I appreciate it.
Fun and flowing.
So
follow us, subscribe, and let Dave. I'm going to let Dave take the keys. This is
You're a good promoter. You've said like, subscribe more than I have.
I know. Well,
and I like it.
You know, that's what we do here.
All right, so we're going to try and make this kind of quick tonight because Steve's got his stuff to do tomorrow morning. He was mentioning the birding stuff. It's the start of the season, so he's going to bolt early. I may stay on a little longer, but I got another work thing to do right after this, so I can't do too long. But there's a couple things I want to touch on. I was just doing a Steve Vai solo I was working out, and it's something pretty simple. It's off the Eat 'em and Smile album, and it's Tobacco Road, basically. And now that's a tune that I generally was never really into playing. Like, it's fun. It's got a little goofy groove or whatever, and it's a cool tune, but for a guitar player, it's kind of simple, which is great, but it's really, you know, some simple groovy chords. It's got a main lick, and then it doesn't have a ton of licks in between where he usually does throw in a lot of stuff. And then there's the solo, and the solo's, again, like you were saying, the Mr. Big thing. It's short, concise, poppy. It's, 10 measures, whatever it is. And but there's like 2 moments in it that are really, really cool. And I want to talk about those. And then there's a couple other, if we're making this a whole Steve Vai thing, we just want to make something that we can do within, the hour and a half here instead of doing 2.5 hours because we both got stuff to do. So we figured one topic this time instead of the multiple. And Steve Vai was a great one because there's just so much. I have transcribed so much Steve Vai stuff. There's a book I pull out all the time. In fact, I'm going to get up and get it because it's just worth getting. Funny. You got to have that on. You got to have that on one button push. You can't wait for that.
I didn't know you were getting up. So.
I know, but you have to be ready. You have to be. This is high quality production.
I'm not Fred Norris. I'm not the sound guy.
You got to.
Listen, it's just.
I got to get that on my thing so I could push it when I get up.
I'll send you the link, but this makes me laugh every time, and I got to thank Kevin because Kevin sent me this, and now I just keep playing this all the time.
All right, so let's get to. So let me share my screen. So this is the book. It's beaten and battered. I'm sure everybody has this book, this Steve Vai Extravaganza.
It's the guitar game. Yep.
It has Eat 'em and Smile and Skyscraper tunes in it. The transcriptions are really good, super accurate. And this is I've used this as a Bible to transcribe because if you see like the little slurs in there, like every little thing, these are notations you don't see in normal transcriptions. Everything is transcribed. It has all the proper, you probably can't see, but there's like the, I'm trying to use my finger. There's these little dips, like bar dips on individual notes, and it's not as accurate as the Scott Henderson book. That one is really, really.
Who did that book? Is that Jesse Grass?
You know what? It's funny. Cover photo is Neil Zloz. Yeah. and it doesn't. I don't think it says. So I think this is Steve transcribing it. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Because I don't think it doesn't say who transcribed this. But it's really super accurate. I mean, it is. It's really, really good. I don't think I've only found a few. I think there was one or two little things I found that I actually wrote over, and maybe I was wrong at the time when I did it. But anyway, this is my little go-to, and I pull it out all the time. I pull it out. Hey, now. I go to this every 3 months or so. I'll be like, oh my God, I got to go back and learn it. Because I've never learned everything in total. I've learned almost every tune in here in parts, and almost all the solos. Then there's the funny thing, which I wish I'd taken a photocopy of this. So this is out of a guitar magazine. It's Tobacco Road, and this was transcribed by you know what? This doesn't even say who it's transcribed by, and it's December.
Which was a guitar for the practicing musician was probably Wolf Marshall.
No, it just says December guitar. So guitar, it's not guitar for the practicing musician.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, and it's funny because it's not. Yeah, it's wrong in multiple places. One in particular that it's crazy how wrong it is in this one spot, and I'm just like. I don't like it hits these notes that I'm like, yeah, those aren't even close to the notes it's hitting. Like,
really?
It was so weird. Anyway, so we're going to get into this. Also, the fun part is Shane, like I said, I had so much going on. Right before this, I posted on Facebook. If anybody is watching this, go to our Facebook page, like that, the pinned post of today's thing, and write a comment. Again, all these things help the little algorithm to get other people to see this. But I tagged Shane Terrio, and he texted me literally 20 minutes ago or so. And he was doing this text thread. And you know what? This is a perfect one to start with, actually. So the first thing he sent me, I will share my screen. The first thing, oh, you know what? And I didn't even download this. Okay, so I'll just open this first.
Try to shut my TV off.
Then I have to download another thing. So this is weird. And so this is, it says Tempo Mental, right? And it is a PDF. It's 20-something pages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all standard notation, but you see Steve Vai's name up here. And he said, he sends me it and he goes, for your Vai chat tonight. I would pop in, but the fam and I are going to dinner at a place. He said, I have an original copy of Black Page transcription that Vai sent to Frank. It's on Berkeley manuscript paper and dated 1976. Also, before most of everybody here was born, except for you and I. Also, some original tunes, all handwritten. I got them from Jeff Sipe, who went to Berkeley with Steve. Jeff's a bass player, right? Or
I know the name.
Yeah, he's either.
I don't know. I know the name, but
keys or bass. I think. I don't think he's a drummer. Who went to Berkeley with Steve. Another funny story about that I will tell you sometime. I tried to find them, but since we moved, I don't know where half my shit is. Ha ha ha. And I said, oh, thanks, man. Enjoy your dinner. Blah blah blah. I told him we were chatting with Anders, and I said. He was chatting with us, blah, 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 and we want to get him on to chat about GIT. He said, I don't know if I should be sharing all this, but it's funny. He goes, man, I have some funny pictures of Anders and back in the day. And I just went to the old apartment. He used to live in Hollywood during the week. And then I said, oh, I remember that. I said, I remember him coming for the AIM clinic. And he was wearing some AIM or MC Hammer pants. Cause I remember he had these like fluffy...
Oh, we all wore MC Hammer pants. I totally did.
I don't remember ever getting MC Hammer pants. I wish I did.
Oh, dude, that was a total thing. I'll have to dig up my pictures for next week of me wearing my MC Hammer pants.
These were more like Eddie Van Halen Like the big jumpy sweatsuits,
Yes.
very thick, and okay.
Yeah, so you would wear them with wrestling sneakers.
I didn't know those two went together.
It didn't. It was a total thing. A total thing. Guaranteed. Everybody that went to GIT most of the time did that.
I mean, it was like these funny,
ridiculous pants. I mean, I had 2 or 3 of them, and I was just like, and then what even made it more obnoxious was like I had a big old fanny pack with all my shit.
Yes, Anders had it too. He was there with the fanny pack on.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to get Anders.
Totally, dude. And I have been texting with him a little bit. He said he wanted to do a FaceTime on Facebook,
and then I'll crack up if Anders did this. So when you wore your hair back then, you didn't like just do like the ponytail. Like you would pull it, and then you would keep a little bit of hair on the side.
He did that too, dude. He totally had that. He had the 3-way ponytail. You got
Yeah, I had that too. Yeah.
So, why was that? That was an LA thing back in the day?
I guess. So like I'm hitting on all the gears with Anders.
That's dude, hysterical. That is funny. So then I said, where in Hollywood did he live? He said Las Palmas, whatever. But I said, I remember he had a tune on his first album called, I think there was a number and Las Palmas, and I think that was the address, but I never knew. I didn't know why it was called that. So he said, dude, Anders used to come over and get into these 3-hour chess matches with the Germans in my apartment. And a few times he got pissed off and he was losing and he would flip the board pieces everywhere. And he said those guys would get pissed. So it's funny. Anyway, so there's another thing he sent me too, and I have to download it from my email here. But let's look at this. I haven't even looked at this thing, but it's all, tempo mento. I assume it's all just rhythmic kind of, doing sextuplets,
totally.
doing all this stuff.
Right here,
It's rhythm studies, subdividing over 2 or more beats. Oh, dude, this is amazing. This is so samples, and it's funny because most people would look at this and they'd stop right away because it's not tab, right? But if you understand, I mean, these are E notes. There's a D note sliding up to an E note. There's, at least he's got the slides. But so funny enough, so he's got the slur here. So it looks like this is all legato. So these are pull-offs to an E. And then there's another E note. So that looks like a unison note. He's hammering on 2 different strings. But this is where you have to dissect what he's doing. What strings he doing it on, from the theme of the third movement of
and that's
footwear.
where that's kind of where I fall off the map. Like I can read those notes, I can follow all of that, but like if you said, okay, go play it, I'd be like,
that's where transcribing helps so much. When you do so much transcribing, you just get used to this. Now, I'm not a great reader, and that's where you hear all the guys like, Lukather or all, they say, I didn't read. I read well enough to get by or whatever, but, if there was heavy reading, Dean Parks would take it, or some of those really heavy, hitters would do it in the studio. But polyrhythms inside of polyrhythm. Oh, that's interesting.
That's crazy,
wow.
Wow.
Yep. So this is a triplet. Dude. So basically there's your triplet with a triplet inside it, right? So you have a quarter note triplet with a eighth note triplet in between. So you have triplet, but it would be trip dot 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 dot, right? So now you take it where it's a 5-1. So now you got 16th notes and you got 2 triplets, basically 2 triplets split into 6s. Offbeat rhythms, dude. This is I mean, this is one of those things that what's so great about this is like a crazy workout. I mean, look at this 5/4 with what are you talking about, dude?
Wow, dude, this is insane.
Here's one for all you maniacs. You might say, why, Steve? And I might say, I don't know. You might say, who's going to play it, Steve? And I might say, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, these are those, I mean, it's almost like a lot of guitar players end up playing it's beneficial to play other instruments for so many reasons, right? So one, playing saxophone, you're understanding more breath work and more melody, and you're understanding fourth intervals. You're getting into realms of things that you usually don't. Keyboards, you start getting into harmonization and chord voicings that you might not be used to, because now you have 10 notes you could play at the same time, and you can really mix polychords up. You could do so many things. You get all these extensions, where on guitar, I heard Alan talk about, he posted the video, I think you mentioned a chord video the other day for a magazine or something. What was it? It was for
Guitar Player magazine, I believe.
Okay. So he, and I watched a little of it, and there was one part where he mentioned, and it was funny, he said, yeah, you know, guitar players can really only play 4, maybe 5 notes maximum. And immediately I go, what are you talking about? There's 6 strings. You could play 6 notes. But he wasn't talking about playing 6 notes, because if you play 6-note chords, you're repeating a lot of notes, octaves or whatever, right? So if you were to play a full 6-note chord where you have a 9th and 11th, right? A 13, you have all these notes and extensions in there, so you're actually playing the scale in different notes, because that's all a chord is: a root third fifth, then you have a 7th, then you have a 9th, which is really the 2nd. So if you have root third, now you have the 2nd or 9th in there, so you're really playing 1, 2, 3, 5. Now if you play the 11th or the 13th, so you're just playing notes of the scale. So if you actually play a chord, you can't play, it's very hard to stretch your hand and get more than 4 or 5 notes in there that aren't repeating. So when he said, you know, you can't play more than 4 or 5, I was like, you know, with that, whatever. Anyway, so that's the fascinating thing with the keyboard stuff. Now, when you get into drums, people are learning, you're more focused on rhythmic timing, in the pocket, all that stuff that guitar players sometimes don't focus on. And now this starts stemming into the whole really understanding the rhythmic world, right? And this is that tempo mental rap, which I don't know what that is. I'm going to look on YouTube and see if maybe Steve Vai.
Yeah, I don't know that.
And Black Page, he was saying Frank Zappa's Black Page. So this is that transcription for that. Let's get a copyright strike and let's go to YouTube. Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be a show without a copyright strike. So.
Let's see how many we could squeeze in this episode.
Yay!
Steve Vai. Breakdown. Edition. Live performance. You know, he used to do things pretty straight on, so the live performance is probably accurate to the album almost. So
yeah, I would go for the live, because we probably won't get the copyright strike either.
Yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen, desktop, where everybody can see it. Let's go through this. It's only a 6-minute tune. This is all the drums and the bongos, it says here, right? See all the bongos. Then there's the cowbell. There's the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy that this is all transcribed out. That's crazy. All right. Well, we don't have all. And then it gets into some guitar stuff. But it looks like this thing is stopping at all the drum stuff, which is interesting. That's crazy. Man, I couldn't imagine transcribing drum stuff.
No.
Okay, so that's that. That's fun stuff. Okay, let me download. Cool. This is the cool thing that let me download other things, Shane. This one you guys are gonna really like. Turn off my desktop audio. There's probably an echo. I apologize for that. This is gonna be fun, and I haven't heard this yet. I listened to 1 second of it, and asked him a question. I actually replied. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay, hold on.
I did. I know exactly what that is.
You can't help but know what it is. I mean, this is one of those two. There's a few tunes that you hear the opening of. You know, Yankee Rose, you hear that one chord. AC/DC, Back in Black. I mean, there's, you know, Sweet Child of Mine. There's a whole bunch of songs. And this is one of Steve Vai's that you hear that. So he sent this. And what did he say with this?
He sent you the video?
No, it's an audio clip. So he said, so he sent this audio clip. He said, we played the Attitude song live for our performance. I have pics of this somewhere.
No kidding. This is Shane's performance.
Yeah, so he's at GIT.
Dude, this is awesome.
So I know. So he said, shitty, but hey, man, we were like 19. He said, a French drummer hanging on for his dear life. I said, yes. I said, who is this playing all that?
You know what's funny, dude?
What's that?
Like, not to interrupt you, but half the stuff that we've talked about, some of that stuff is pretty exclusive. At some point, people are going to catch on to our little podcast here, and they're going to be like, "Oh, look at this Shane Terrio thing."
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, because again, these are stories that are just close to us who are involved in this. I mean, everybody has their thing, but you and I have so much. We've had so much time with GIT, AIM, going through our thing, meeting other people, you with the job that you have, the transcribing stuff and doing lesson packages for me on Guitar Breakdown with all the guys out here from Josh Smith, Alan Hines, Phil X, and all that. You know, it was, so we have all these things that only we know the stories of our interactions. And so the Shane, that's why I want Shane and Anders and Key Morieka, like all these guys, they have stories that nobody asks them about. They ask, oh, how's touring with so-and-so, or how is this, or how'd you become a rock star? You know, I want to hear those other stories, like the playing chess at your house and getting angry and flipping the board over, and who were these other German guys? Were they mob guys, or were there a lot of German guys at GIT at the time? So
there was mostly French guys.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I think he said. He goes, I said, who's playing in this? He said, me and Anders and a German named Marcus. We were all super tight hanging bros. Me and Marcus especially. Anders was a great player, but I don't remember him going to class much. He could play all that Holdsworth shit, and he could. That's the thing about Anders. It's amazing. I'm telling you, the clips that I have, I'll share some of those, and maybe when he comes on eventually, I'll share some of it, and maybe he'll send us some stuff too. But man, he's got that Henderson-y, Holdsworthy thing down, and he has those crazy stretches, and his legato is amazing. And that's one thing we'll talk about Steve Vai that I'm fascinated. There was a track I heard just the other today on my walk, actually, and his legato. There's the way he has his tone set up. It's so smooth, and it almost sounds like a computer because his notes are so evenly attacked, and you don't hear the pick. You don't hear him going from one string to the next, starting a 3-note pattern. Like Paul Gilbert, he leans into that pick a lot of times, right? There's a lot of guys that do this, but his tone really disguises that. And you could have these runs of like 15 notes up, then he does a melody, then he does 12 notes down, and you're just like, all that whole run, it didn't sound like any note started on a different string. It just sounded like all equal notes. And Anders
Right.
was like that with that legato. I mean, it was pretty crazy. So okay, let's listen to this. This is Viv Woman, Shane Terrio, Anders, and Marcus Aurelius. Go. Sorry, I'm pausing it for a second. Steve, let me know, make sure that it's coming through on YouTube, or anybody listening to this on YouTube, let us make sure that the audio is actually coming through. So I'm not playing 6 minutes of a tune or 4 minutes. Start over. Here we go.
That was good. Yeah. Good.
Oh my God, dude. My cheeks hurt so bad from smiling. Holy crap, that was good.
I mean,
17 years old? What?
I mean, that's crazy.
Are you?
I mean, first off, let's give Shane Terrio some love, man.
Shane, Anders, and Marcus, all of them.
I mean, and Anders is just, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's just, wow. So first off, thank you, Shane, for sharing that. That is awesome. It was so enjoyable. And I'm listening to that, smiling and going like, wow, that's so cool. But that's the thing too, man. Like when when we were at GIT, you would have these, open council or these performance workshops, and you would see stuff and you'd be like, a lot of times it was just garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of guys, and you'd watch it and be like, oh my god, this is. And so I was always very like intimidated by that. Like I didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to be crap, man. I want to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. So almost to the point where it was like paralysis by analysis, or analysis by, it's like I almost didn't do a lot of stuff because I was so afraid of sucking. So there is also that point where you just have to say like, kind of like, all right, fuck it, I got to go for it.
Yeah.
And so, but the one thing I came out of it like at an early age was like, if your drummer sucks, your band sucks. That's it. Like, you could have like 3 great guitar players, a good bass player, but if the drummer sucks, and drummers were like the toughest thing to find at GIT. Yeah. I don't know why it was. It's like the same thing in real life. Drummers are always hard to find.
We had the same, and in fact, most of our performances we played with the teachers, like because some of them we didn't even, especially in the later. I think there was only maybe one drummer in my fourth quarter. So yeah, I mean that dude, honestly, I'm not even joking. My cheeks hurt like right here. Both of them it's stretched. There's so many things about that were so cool. There's the very first part within the first 30 seconds. They do this whammy bar with harmonics, and Anders used to do that when he first came in that clinic. He did that all the time. That was but he was doing the thing where you don't just hit harmonics and move the bar. He's actually raising the pitch. It's almost like a Steinberg trans-trem. He's getting the pitch to be exact, and they did it 2-part harmony, and they did that. If you heard that was so good, dude. And then I'm trying to think of which one was Anders playing some of those lead lines and which was Shane. And I almost couldn't tell the difference because there was a few parts that were definitely Anders, and the other ones could have been Shane. Now, that's one of those things I talk about all the time. Dude, that track, if anybody knows Shane's playing from the New Orleans stuff with the Neville Brothers. No idea. Yep, the Hall & Oates stuff. Even though he played with Sammy Hagar and he plays a few rock things on that, he doesn't like this is how I got introduced to Shane was coming out of this, the rock, but with all the Scott Henderson idiosyncrasies too. So now you blend those two together and you have all this sophistication, but it's so musical. And what Shane did amazingly was, and that's why he's gone so far musically, is he's blended those two. He doesn't overuse it. He would sporadically put it in there, and all of a sudden you'd hear, really cool lines, and his phrasing was always great, and now it's even better. But like back then, it was so spectacular. Even like a simple blues line, you'd be like, what was that? And you're like, but that's all that was. And it's just the way he plays it, place he places it in the rhythm, the way he attacks it, the way he holds on to certain notes, just his everything about it. His tone was always really thoughtful and really good. And that came to everything, whether it was the jazzier stuff, even the more standard jazzy stuff, he could pull that off. Classical. He's a fascinating creature, to say the least. And this, there was so many, and there was one lick in there that, so I'm going to get into showing a few things. There's one lick that he did that I have totally forgot about. And it was a simple thing, and I remember it transcribed, and it was one of my favorite little things that I had learned because it was so simple. But it sounds so cool. And the way he does it, he did it in there once. But it just, there's a certain touch to it and tone. Let me share my screen, move the camera down just a little bit, turn my guitar on, and let me know if you could hear this guitar. Turn off my mic for a second. So this lick is really, really simple, and I don't even remember it, so it's going to take 1 second. And I was actually going to move your picture up in the other corner because it sometimes blocks out the guitar thing, but I didn't have time to do that. But so this is... That's it. Okay, so it's literally a pattern, and you can do it anywhere. And I don't remember where this was, but I'm going to do the 12th fret on the G string, 14th fret on the B string, and 17th fret on the E string. So G, B, and E, you have 12, 14, 17. First finger, second finger, pinky. And you're just sweeping down. Right? And then all you do is you reverse that pattern. So you leave your second finger in there on the 14th fret, but you're going to move your first finger down now to the 12th fret, and your pinky is going to go up on the G string on the 17th fret. So now you're going down. And you have... So you have... Right? It's just such a cool sound. You could bring it anywhere. It was, and I remember when I learned that, I was like, dude, what is that? Because you just hear it rip out in between a lick, and you're like, whoa, wide enough intervals, but nothing scary wide, right? And then if you just, you can go back into your blues, pentatonic, whatever.
Resolve it. Yeah, resolve it pretty easily.
Yeah, so it's basically just a shape, really. Super, super cool. So, anyway, dude, Shane, thank you again for sending that. Super awesome. I cannot wait to get you on here.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Thank you.
There's I'm having a weird audio thing with my focus. Right?
I hear it. It's like a clicking, right?
Oh, do you hear it?
Yeah, it's like a popping.
All right.
Popping fresh.
I am going, because this is not acceptable, I don't think. I'm going to try and turn off my Focusrite and turn it back on, because that seems to work, and I don't know if that's going to damage this whole podcast. And if it does, yeah.
How we do?
All right. Is it on? Are we better?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you at all.
Really?
I can't hear you at all, David.
I can hear you. Can't hear me? This is getting stuck.
Oh, now I hear you.
You hear me?
You're back.
Am I back?
No, you're back now.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, wait. I hear you. Okay, here's weird. Hang on a second.
Okay, yeah.
No,
I'm out. I'm out.
Dave, can you hear me?
I hear you.
No. Okay, so what's going on is I hear you on the replay, but I can't hear you right this moment.
Oh, you know what it is? It's probably because on
So if I shut up and then I wait like 5 seconds, you could talk, and then 5 seconds from now I can reply back, or I get on the phone and I listen to you. So what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, do the phone thing. This is so janky.
Crazy, I'm gonna call you.
This is so janky.
And see if I can make this work here. All right.
So you can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, I'm gonna put you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me still on your phone?
I can hear you on the phone.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you on mute on my phone. This is so janky.
Yeah.
So can you have a phone hanging out here? I'm going to your screen. Look at you, buddy. Technologies. If anybody appreciates the hard work we're doing just to stay live.
We're working so hard. I mean, at some point we got to get a super chat. At some point.
All right. So I don't even know. You know what? I don't think we could do super chats on these things.
No, we're going to do super chats. I don't care.
Eventually.
Even if it's for like 90 cents.
Yeah. Eventually. I think I have to monetize, and I think I can't monetize at the moment because I took 5 years off, whatever.
Oh,
anyway.
Damn it.
All right. So you can hear me. What about the YouTube? Can you hear it on YouTube? You hear the talking on the actual YouTubers?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let me show you a few little Steve Vai things that I just wanted to mention, right? So these are the things that we're at 44 minutes, so we're not going to take too long, especially with this broken podcast. I got to figure out this Focusrite. I might have to buy a new one. Sucks. But the Steve Vai stuff that I've been working on, I mean, like I mentioned, I have done so much of his stuff. Okay, that's the Zappa one. We'll close this there. All right, so this is that the Eat 'em and Smile Yankee Rose thing. Now, the fascinating thing about this is, funny enough, this is a live concert, it's an hour and 45 minutes, and I was telling Steve, every live concert footage, I see that they do Tobacco Rose at the very beginning of their show. It was it's not the opening, but it is one of the first few songs that they do. It's just a really great tune. And the reason why I was looking for live footage is because there were certain things I was trying to figure out how he plays.
Right.
Because like I said, the transcription's a little goof. So this is the solo. Actually, I don't even know where I am right now. Let me... Okay, we're almost one more section and we'll get to the solo. So good. So the interesting thing there were several things that are interesting there. Again, the rhythm's really silly simple. And keep listening, Steve, to the YouTube. Make sure the audio doesn't fuzz out again.
Yep.
I appreciate that. So this is the that was probably an echo because I have the desktop on. All these things happen. This is the rhythm part, right? It's just literally a C chord to a D chord. But he's also, instead of just the C note on the A string, he's going down to that G note. So he's getting some octaves in there. And he gets the real heavy. Now, the cool part about that is a lot of people do those scrapes, right? You have... I'll try and do... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? But it's not as simple. And I always thought it felt weird doing it that way. And I never watched the video. This is a long time ago when I transcribed it. And so I started doing, instead of down, up, down, up, down, up. Right? Instead of that, it's, I do down, up, down, down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And it feels different. And then when you watch Steve do it, you see that's how he does it. It brings a different punctuation out of it. And so this is the down, up, down, up. Now this is the down, up, down, down, up. I'm sorry. You almost get different harmonics too. Like it just makes you play a little differently. So the rhythm's really pretty simple. And the main riff, everybody kind of knows, it's just D minor pentatonic. And again, you get that low string octave really makes that song sing, or that rhythm part sing. So the solo, what's really interesting in that, right before the solo, he goes into this thing where he goes... And like he mixes those little bends up. And then he gets into this descending part. He goes... Right? So... then he gets into that whole... Now, that very beginning part, that descending line is just so cool because it's basically you're playing the 20th fret, then you play the 19 and bend that up a half step. So you have... Then you go to the 17th fret, all on the E string. Then you do the same kind of half step bend where you go this 18th fret, to the 17th on the B string, then you bend that up and down a half step. And then you land on the root note, which is the D, on the G string, which is the 19th fret. So you have... Then he just kind of walks down from D, C, B to A. I'm sorry, from 19, 17, 16, 14, right? And sometimes it sounds like he's almost doing a bend there on the... Again, another half-step thing. Finding those half-steps to do little bends. So, yep. Right? Then he just repeats it down an octave. But instead of bending these notes... It sounds like when I slowed this down and transcribed it, it really doesn't sound like there's a bend. Because when you hear a bend, when you slow it down, you hear this. You hear... Like, you hear that transition between that. What I'm hearing is just... You're hearing straight notes, one to one. So it sounds like the lick is really this. Then he goes up to that G note, and you're back into the... Then you go into the solo. So if anybody wants to learn that's I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's one of the parts where I think this transcription in the Guitar Magazine was goofy and wrong. Let me see. Huh. No, that was right. Yeah, no, I think it was in the solo. There's a part. So when he goes into that solo, literally, again, it's really, really simple. He's just bending the 15th fret up a whole step. And then going back down to the C note. This is all on the B string, the 15th fret to the 13th fret. Then he does a 15th fret bend to 13 on the E string. Back to 15, and then he slides. I think it's hard to hear in the recording, and none of this matters. It goes by so quick, but it's however you want to play it. I think the way it's transcribed in that magazine is he slides from that 15 down to 8, which is an impossible move because you can't go 15 to 8 and then on the next string play 10 to 8. Right? You can't, because your third finger is going to be there, then you have to get here. So it's almost like, well, maybe it's a pull-off, and he goes down with his first finger, and then he gets to these notes. What I think he really does is, while he's here, I think he bars over to that 15th fret on the B string, but doesn't really play that. It just slides down real quick. It's like a ghost note slide to the 10th fret. And then you have 10, 8, 10, 10 on the other string. So you have... Then he does this thing where he just trembles on notes, half steps. 9th fret to 10 on the G string, 9th, 10 on the D string, 9, 10 on G string, and up a half step, 10 to 11 on the B string. So you have... Then he goes in between those two strings and he's using the bar. And then he dips the bar, right? Well, the way it's transcribed, and I see a lot of people playing, because it kind of sounds like he might be doing this, but that's why I wanted to check the live video. He doesn't. He stays, even though the guitar's backwards when he's playing this, you see he's staying in this part of the neck. He's not going down and up, down and up. A lot of people play it right, all on this string, and they're using the bar. Right then, and that makes sense because you're hearing all this slurring, but the slurring's not coming from slides, and I think that's why it was transcribed that way. It's coming from the bar, right? You're getting a lot of bar stuff going on. So after all that, and we're 90% through the solo. Then after that, it goes to this part where it goes. And even that phrase, it's not just bending those notes. It's right. It's got a vocal rhythm to it. And if you saw in this video, he just starts going. Like he just starts going because the intensity of a live performance, they're just going for it.
He's just killing it. Yep.
Yep. So now that was that right after that, I don't know if this. To my ears, I kept checking, and it seems like it happens. He seems like after he plays that, he plays the note D and C on the G string. So it sounds like... Then he gets into the actual fast lick. But you do hear those... Now, I don't know if those notes come from the underlying chords, and he just stops here, but it sounds like those notes are prominent enough. Because then he slides up to this thing. So having your fingers down there already makes sense. This lick is so cool, though, and this is what I was telling Steve about. Most people think that fast lick goes... You know, something like that. It's not. There are breaks in there. When you slow it down, you hear him punctuating certain notes. So he does... That's the first phrase. It's the 17th fret of the E string to... These are all natural notes. 17th, then 20th, 18, and 17 on the B string. So 17, 20, 18, 17... Then he goes back up to that 20, and that's where the phrase stops. Just for a second. Then he does the back and forth between those two notes, the 18, 17, 18. And you could hear there's a pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then 1, 2, 3... Then then it goes back up to this and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have. That's cool. And then he just goes into a tear of normal notes. But even there, when he goes down this scale. He skips a note and goes back up here and lands on that note. Then he goes down a fourth and back up a fourth. So he has... I'm sorry. But also what I think he does is instead... I don't know why I think this. It doesn't... It might not. It might have just been something I liked playing better than the fourth here. It sounded like he was sliding instead of playing this fourth note here. It sounded like he was sliding into that fourth and then going up instead of going. it sounded like it was a little slide there. And then to end this whole thing, which is so fat, this is the part that I could not figure out, and that's why I kept watching this video. Because he gets into these harmonics, right? And it's basically, the way it's transcribed is people transcribe it down here, where it's just a D chord going up 5th fret, 7, 7 on the A, D, and G string. Then up here, another part of a D arpeggio. So 14, 15, starting on the G string, 14, 15, 14, 17. That's just your G major arpeggio. Then it goes to this note, which is your C, bending up to the root note of D, right? So it's a D arpeggio. Well, when I saw the video, it took me a long time to find an angle where he was kind of doing this. It doesn't sound like any of that.
Right.
It sounds like harmonics. It sounds like what Anders was doing with his harmonics. And I was trying to find those notes in those harmonics, and it's basically it's the 5th fret harmonic right above the 5th fret, then the 4th fret above the 4th, then the 3rd fret.
Wow.
But then it goes to the next string, and it's the 3rd fret and 2nd fret, but the way you have to do it is a little more above the fret. It's not on the fret, it's above. Right. And then a little above, but a little closer to the fret on this one. So you have...
Oh, man.
Right? And it's really... Then it goes back to the first two. Then it goes... So you have...
That's interesting.
Right? You could hear all those harmonics, and it sounds like the punchiness of those harmonics. But when I see him do it in this live show, there are a few angles where it looked like he was just doing the arpeggios up here. Instead, on the 5th fret, he's doing it on the 10th fret. And you get the same effect, but you really have to pinch out those first few harmonics to get that harmonic sound. And I mean, I guess it sounds... It depends where you're getting those pinches to get the actual note that you're getting from the natural harmonics down here. But anyway, dude, that is one of my favorite things that he does. He disguises little things, whether it's that fast little lick that he did.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a few more I want to go over, and I know we're crunching on right past the 1 hour part. Steve has to bolt in a few, so I'm not going to take up too much. I want to go over the Tobacco Road. We already here. Let me play the Tobacco Road real quick, just the solo on the actual live or the real track, because you'll really hear those. This is where we'll get a copyright strike, but. And I was going to do Knuckle Bones anyway, so we're going to get that copyright strike. So you'll hear those harmonics really well here. Let me share my screen, desktop audio.
Tobacco Road.
So two things. One, the very end of that, there was also when he does that. He does a whammy bar where he pulls that note really, really high up, right? So that was the one thing I missed in there. But, and those harmonics, I mean, it makes sense that he's playing it here. I just don't know where he's getting those those really defined pinches somewhere in here. Super, super, super cool, dude. I mean, so I'll go into the next transcription after this, but what do you have experience-wise with the Vai stuff? What's your, I think you said you sent me something, right? Oh, there is something.
Yeah, well, and my Vai experience as far as playing goes is very much pedestrian. I really only copped a lot of the sliding stuff that he does.
Okay.
You know, and so that's really kind of what I implemented into the playing. And obviously, you know, that whole Lydian sound thing, like not as granular as you're taking it, but oh,
Can you play the
Kevin's
run at
asking if
the
you
end?
can play that run again at the end.
Which run? That the fast run? Are you asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin asked if you could play that run again at the end.
You want to hear Steve's version or my version?
Well, I think you can hear Steve's at any point.
Oh yeah. Okay. So so that is or so, and you know what? I will tab that out if you're interested in that. Yeah, I'll tab it out the way that I think it goes, and I'll actually do a photocopy of what the actual tab in the transcription in the guitar. I think it was just Guitar Magazine. Is that what it was?
Yeah. No, it was Guitar for the. I think it was Guitar for the Practice of Musician. I think it was that.
But I thought at the bottom of the page it always said Guitar for the Practice of Musician.
I don't know. I always thought that was in Guitar for the Practice Musician. I don't know why.
Oh no! You know what I think it was in? I think it was in that
Guitar School.
What was it? Yes.
Guitar School?
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so you like? I know at our music school we had to play Viv Woman. That was one thing that we had to play. I think there was another Vai tune that I can't remember, but there was. I mean, Vai was a big thing back in our days, and
Sure,
not just when it came out with Passion Warfare, and then he just got with the David Lee Roth stuff, and I mean that was such a huge thing. And I was listening to. I kind of fell off with Steve after those Light and Sounds. I didn't really listen to a lot of that. And then even the newest albums I hadn't listened to in a very, in fact, two of them I don't think I ever listened to.
Same. I kind of fell off when he did the Devin Townsend record.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I just kind of lost touch with everything that he was doing. And then I guess back in 2011, I had connected with him and his label manager, and we did a project for him. And that's how I got to meet him. He was very accommodating. He was very involved in everything. You'd think he's in the weeds on everything.
Right.
You know, it was really an interesting experience, and he was very much just kind of going through all the processes, with what we did, and we were creating stuff, and he was involved in approving everything. So it was very cool. His team was great, accommodating. And when he came to New Jersey, he was actually interested in meeting me, which was really cool. I was nice. So he spent about 10 minutes with us, me and my wife, and hung out and got to have a really cool personal experience. He signed a bunch of stuff.
Keep talking. I just need to move my phone because I don't want this to echo.
So, yeah, it was a great experience, and I learned a lot working with him too, as well, because the thing that he did back in the day when downloads were a thing, I used to run a company that did download cards, and so part of that was we would work with artists and record companies. And Steve's label, Favored Nation, was one of our customers. And so that's how I got connected with them. I was working with the label manager.
Okay. And when you met him, did you ask him any, like, was it all professional, or did you actually get into anything like
we didn't really
guitar-y?
talk too much guitar kind of stuff. I mean, I just thanked him and said, like I was a big, beyond a bigger fan than like I was trying to keep cool, and he laughed. I was trying to be professional at that point too, because you're in your day job mode and stuff. But yeah, it was cool. So Kevin, I remember Kevin telling me this story.
So I'm gonna have to do this thing again. I have to do this thing again because yeah.
You getting some echo? Right. I hear you. No, I hear you. I hear you, Dave. We're so broken. We're so broken. And I can't even play the Calliope music.
I was here. I didn't want the thing to hear it, but I was like, oh, I forgot this is how he's hearing me.
Right.
I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. Right. You're an idiot.
We're idiots.
Right.
We're total idiots.
All right, let me know if the YouTube thing can hear my audio again or no. Are we back up or?
Yeah. Oh, he's saying you're silent now.
Yeah, it should take 1 second or two because it's trying to log back into Video Ninja, I think. And
right.
So give us 1 second.
Everybody that's still watching, we are having crazy audio problems tonight. So thanks for bearing with us. And so anyway, Kevin won a guitar from WDHA, and it was a cheap Ibanez. And I remember him telling me this story because Kevin's lefty, and it was a right-handed guitar, and he was pissed off about
it. Let me just say, oh, he said we're back on. Okay, good. I was just going to text you if we were back on. Yeah. Okay, so wait, he won a guitar. What?
Yes, he won a Vai guitar because of it was a cheap Ibanez guitar.
What is WDHA? He won from
DHA is a local Jersey station.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Station. Sorry. Yeah, but Kevin's a lefty.
Oh, that's funny.
So he got pissed off that it wasn't a lefty guitar. And
that's funny. Yeah. What did you have to do to win it? Was it just a call? Did you call in, be this certain caller? I'd be interested. So all right, we're at an hour and 12. We're gonna get cramped. I'm not gonna do. Steve's gonna leave and give him 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You got, Steve?
Yeah, I got 10.
Okay, so let me go down to two things. So the albums that I didn't really listen to that I started listening to this week. I'm looking at his discography on Wikipedia. So the last one was Vai /Gash, and I never listened to this. In fact, I'll share my screen here. We'll look up Vai. So this is the album cover. Nope.
Story of Light was the Zesto is the besto. That is the record that we did the download cards for and worked with him on back in 2011, I think.
What is?
Zesto has commented that Story of Light was pretty good. And that was the record that we worked with Vai.
Oh, okay. So this is the Vai Gash thing. And I assume that's a singer, or I don't know who Gash is. I only started listening to it the other day and to me it was okay, but it was weird because there were a lot of real basic guitar tracks and the solos were almost non-existent. I only listened to a few tunes and then I was like, I want to listen to something else. So that album didn't interest me that much. Maybe if anybody knows, if they have more experience with what that project actually was, it's interesting. Then I started listening. So I was going backwards on my Spotify on my walks, and I started listening to this in Violet or whatever. That has some really interesting things on it, and one of the interesting things, and then I didn't get to Modern Primitive. So Violet was the one I was listening to. He did this one tune. Did I pull it up? Oh no. Then okay. So there were 2 or 3 tunes on that were actually pretty good, that were really interesting. Then he got into this thing. I don't know what album this is. Oh, this is Modern Primitive. Okay, so it's up in these shades. I don't know. I can't read shit. This is a weird tune. This is that thing that I was telling you about, the legato, right? And if I could find it real quick, there's like 2 or 3 phrases that he does legato stuff that just, there's so many notes and you don't hear any of the accents. And this is part of his technique that fascinates me. My audio. So there it is. So in all that, you can almost hear, you can hear a lot of it. When he ascends, you can hear some of that picking attack. But when he descends, his pull-offs are so clean. So that's, if you really listen to that, you'll hear the difference between when he's attacking certain notes and when he does legato down, because there is definitely a difference. And his smooth legato down, you can't hear the separation as those string starts. It's just really, really good. There was another thing that he did that, if anybody's, again, trying to make this a Vai thing, if anybody's interested in some Vai-esque kind of things, one of the things he does all the time is that he's got all these little idiosyncrasies, and one is he does fifth intervals, and he'll do that across the neck, right? So he'll go, and all you're doing is a G, go up a fifth to a D. Then you go to the D, and these are on the next strings up. So you're going D to A. Then you go to the A with your first finger, and you go to E. Then E to B, and then you go B to F sharp. So you have... And when you do it really fast, like he does, you get those unison notes, because you're getting... Once you do the G to D, you're switching your first finger to play another D. So you have... All right, it's just a really cool Steve Vai kind of thing you can throw in. And I don't see anybody doing... Oh, you know what? And my guitar wasn't really on. So here's that thing.
I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it.
So it's a really simple technique, and whenever you hear all these guys playing, while I'm watching the Steve Vai stuff, I sent a suggestion came on Spotify, and it was a Nick Johnson thing, and he was doing with Guthrie Govan, and if you haven't heard that, I sent it to Steve. It's such an awesome tune. I mean, both they're playing is really amazing, and I thought it was Steve Vai at first because it was under the Steve Vai Spotify thing, But when you hear these guys play, you don't hear them break it. They're doing lines, they're doing arpeggios, they're doing phrasing, they're doing, things, tapping. But you never hear that simplicity of fifth intervals, doing licks, throw in some fifth intervals.
That's such a Vai line, man.
Yeah. Yep, he's been doing it forever since the Zappa days and all that. So the other real quick thing I want to do is just I have a million solos. I mean, I can do. There's let me get my guitar back on, but yeah. No. And even there, single note fifth intervals. Something like that or whatever, and I forget what solo that is, but the Yankee Rose one. Or that's what is that? Yeah, that's not Yankee Rose.
Going crazy.
Going crazy, right? There's just a million of them, but the one that I really like that a lot of people don't do the skyscraper stuff. That Knuckle Bones one is so much fun. Something like that. And then he gets into some fast shit that I don't even remember. But the cool part about that is all the little subtleties and it's all very, very punchy and staccato. So it's... And even that, before he gets into that last, he does that again. He gets a little scrape in there, which nobody. I mean, it's subtle, but it sounds so cool. Whatever. I love that stuff, dude. I don't want to rush this, but I know you're up for time, and
so good. This is gonna be a tough 7 or 8 weeks for me, man, because I love doing this, but
yeah.
So real quick, I just see like Zesto had mentioned, wasn't Modern Primitive supposed to be tracks from before? Yeah, it's my understanding is Modern Primitive is like in between Flexible and Passion and Warfare.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But I never heard it. I think he just released it like last year or something like that.
So, and then he gets into stuff like there was on that one, it might be the Modern Primitive one, or I forget. He did this one tune, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll break. It was, I took a picture of it. Pink and Blows Over. It's from this Modern Primitive. Pink and Blows Over Part 2. And good God, it's a 13-minute song. And there's a whole bunch of him whistling. It almost sounds like a vocal practice of matching the whistling with the vocals or with the melody of the piano or whatever is playing, guitar, something. He's doing the vocal in the match. And then there's another part where he gets into almost like a thematic, almost a movie score. That's what the whole thing almost sounds like. There's a lot of Zappa influence in it. I mean, being a 13-minute song, it's just an escapade. And you almost start realizing, okay, this is him being able to film score. And didn't he do the film score for... what was that one book with the beast, the wildebeest? God, there was, and it's a very, very popular book. Steve. Fantasy.
The Elusive Sounded Light.
Did Crossroads, right? So Zesto, yeah. And again, that's yeah. That is one of the solos. What the best part of that is the opening part for me of Steve. If anybody ever learned that, that's the fun part. There's some when he first just does that really fast, crazy lick opening when they first get there. Then he does that blues jam. That stuff is really cool. There's like 4 licks in there, and maybe we'll do a Steve Vai thing again. But
we should absolutely.
Yeah. So the Crossroads thing, but there was also another one where it was a book. If anybody could figure that out, let us know. I know what it is, but it's a very popular children's book that became a feature film, and I think he scored for that. But it's very epic and fantasy, and that's what Steve. Between all the Frank Zappa stuff and all, he knows how to arrange parts and do things for mood and setting. So, anyway. Yeah, that opening of Crossroads, dude. Maybe we'll touch base on that because there are 2 or 3 licks. I haven't done that in a long time. I'm going to go back to that this week.
We should bring that back. I mean, there's so much stuff, dude. We should do another episode down the road.
And this is perfect because my audio's going out again, so it's starting to fuzz again.
I appreciate you guys, everybody. We've been having audio problems all night, so I'm actually on my cell phone talking to Dave while I'm on the mic with you guys. So it's a perfect time to end this for me. I'm going to buy a new Focusrite this week, so we'll be back and running. Thank you, guys. We'll be have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Thank you, guys.